You name it, it happened tonight, right? But nevertheless, we are here, right? They can't keep a good man down. Always keep a smile when they want you to frown. Judge me if they want, right? But nevertheless, we live tonight, eat and teach. Let's go. So tonight we're gonna actually have our dream interpretation, and we also have an interview tonight in which is going to be very, very interesting, right? So nevertheless, as we are here, we're going to be doing on relationships. Now, I know in the beginning when we just started Eat and Teach, we started off on relationships. Share this. Let somebody know that we're on. Let somebody know that we are live. We about to help somebody tonight, right? Is he the one? Is she the one?
Right.
If God give you a vision, if God give you a dream, whatever it is that the Lord would have given you, whether that person is the one for you to marry. I've seen my grandmother on. Good night, Barry Rogers. How are you? I love that woman, you know. I thank God for her, and I thank God for Colleen Rogers, my mother. Right? So, dream interpretation, we're going to be doing that tonight. Is he the one? Is she the one? So with that being said, I'm spitting popcorn here, all kind of thing. We're going to begin, first of all, with our interview, right? We're going to go there first, right? I want to just find out from Mr. Michael King how he met this wife of his. So we want to invite Mr. Michael King to come in, y'all. Invite him to come through. Come and join me, sir. Right? Tonight, we have Mr. Michael King on with us. Mr. Michael King, good night.
Good night
How
to
you
each and
going?
everyone. I'm great after God.
You're great. Nice. So, Mr. Michael King, Mr. Michael King, are you a Trinidad and Tobago citizen, sir?
Full Trini.
Yeah, full Trini.
To the bone.
So he's a full Trini now. Mind you, all before we started, I was about to get a whole story here and bring that story. So I said, here one, keep it for the live because I want to hear this story and I want to hear it fresh now. I want to hear it when everybody else hearing it. So I tell him, don't give me the story yet. So all of us going to hear the story at the same time, right? So, Mr. Michael King, yes. So full Trini blood. So tell me something. So since tonight we are going to be doing, is he the one? Is she the one? Mr. Michael King, whose wife? I'll let you introduce your wife's name, sir. Let me let you introduce your wife's name. Go ahead.
All right. My lovely wife name is Rhonda Charles King.
Right. So tell me, Mr. Michael, where you would have met? Where did you meet your wife, Miss Rhonda King?
Well,
let me shake up the memories tonight. Go ahead.
That was in 2011 in the airport. Piaco International Airport.
So the airport was the place of love?
Yes. When God in the midst. Yes. God ordained this. Yes. For us to meet. Because how we meet is a whole long story.
Well, summarize that story for us tonight, Mr. Michael. Let's hear.
Well, me and some friends was going to Grenada that year. And we flight was supposed to be 7 o'clock in the morning. The yacht had some issue. So we there in the airport from since 6 o'clock. And we there waiting, no flight. We go the road, we come back, no flight. Oops, this lady bound come in.
Oops. Go ahead. Oops.
My wife now come in. She started talk and ball. Them had to go first. I said, who's you? You know, come here. I said, how long we here?
So wait. Okay, pause. So before we go further, anybody was able to share it in the group? You all share it in the group? So before we go further, so she come in under a defensive vibes then. It wasn't love at first sight.
No.
It wasn't love at first
Well,
sight.
I don't know. She'll have to answer that because I have a story with that.
You have a story with love at first sight. Okay. So we're wondering if it was love at first sight, and clearly it was not, because she came in defensive.
Yes.
Right.
And I put my guard. I say, who's you? I say, how long we here? You know, come. I say, no, we fly thing. I said, Miss Lady, we are since 7 o'clock this morning, and all the flight was at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So we bounce up. Well, let me tell you the story now. I didn't know that before, but she told me.
But when you realize you like her?
Well, that's how we go. So we end up leaving about 9 o'clock in the night. One flight, everybody was going to Grenada.
So she was on the same flight with you?
Same flight, but 9 o'clock in the night, everybody leave.
Talk about divine intervention.
When we reach Grenada now, no luggage. Nobody have no luggage. So we had to come back in the airport in the morning. Boom, we bounce up again in the airport in Grenada. So everybody collect their luggage and they go on the way. In knowing, we'll bounce up again.
Where?
In Grenada. Well, we must be staying, say here, and about by the airport, they must be all staying.
So you walked on by the airport?
No, me and my partner was going out the road, the line. So we waited for that time. Is bus in Grenada.
So for those who know Grenada,
yeah,
you all know in Grenada it have dreaming about numbers.
Yeah.
Young Machiavelli. Hold on to that young Machiavelli. We would revisit that as soon as we would revisit that before the live is over. But hold on to it, and you could tell me, you could share the numbers as well if your heart so desire. So, you know, in Grenada, I don't know for the other small islands as well. You know, when it's time to stop the maxi, you have to.
Yep. Yeah, and small up. And
small up yourself.
About 20 to 25 people in one small maxi. The small maxi is long called down here.
Right.
12 seater. There's about 20 to 25 people holding in one maxi. It's small up.
Hey.
She and your brother-in-law, he's a Grenadian and he was driving. So we waiting and we maxi to go along the road. Next thing she stop. Say she tells your brother, hey, look my friend and them. She stop.
Also, you're your friend now. After she body up in the airport, right? She's your friend now.
So all right. We end up going in the vehicle and we drive the whole of Grenada one day. We line.
So at this point now, I am certain at this point you probably would have been looking at her in the corner, your eye in the maxi.
Well, I will tell you the honest truth. I had her as a friend.
What do you mean you had her as a friend?
I invite her to come and go. That time we go Juve. Evening mass.
When you invite her in the maxi?
No, when we was liming, and that was the Saturday, and Monday night was the evening mass. So I said, Bill, I was playing evening mass. So I said, Bill, you will come and meet me. We will go and play evening mass. But I had her as a friend.
So what I want to find out, did you think that she had you as a friend in her mind as well?
Well, I don't think.
You're not sure?
I didn't sure.
Until
sure. I find out after.
She tell it. So who tell who they like who?
Well, incident happens as she was telling you.
I find she looking crazy in the corner. They like, you better don't say nothing.
Well, while she was me, my partners, all of we, a whole group of us. So I end up seeing this tall, dark, stallion lady. So I end up going and go behind the woman.
Pause. Somebody just said that they hear the outside. Somebody just said the outside. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I end up going behind the tall, dark stallion woman, enjoy myself, in knowing my wife now was interested
in you,
in me.
Right, go ahead.
After I get to find out that because some kind of face I get. Yeah, she wanted to beat me that night, that morning and all. Say for him.
This is good.
Yeah, so we end up thinking exchange number. I think them leave before us to come back home. So but we exchange numbers.
Okay.
And thing.
So what I want to find out now. So at the point of you and her coming together, what made you say, all right, I see a wife in this woman, or I see this as a woman that I want to be with? What actually provoked that for you?
Well, the way she cry about herself, she mature as a person, you understand?
You're here, Kirk, tell me, Kirk, you're hearing him clearly? I hope you're hearing clearly.
Yeah. So
she mature,
and as a person, don't just run into women. That's why I take the time to know them, see the good and the bad. Because you see, the whole nation gave back to the Prime Minister when he said choose your partner wisely. But he's correct. You understand? Because at the end of the day, is you have to live with the person. And you as a human being, you can't change nobody. You cannot change nobody unless the person want to change and the help of God.
Nice.
You understand? You see, some of us make the mistake about, you pick up a woman, she's a party girl, use a home boy or whatever, and feel, things could change. You understand?
Okay, all right. Well, he liked the way he carried it. Okay, he said he liked the way his wife carried about herself. That is really one of the major things to look into. When you're actually looking for a partner, because at the end of the day, if the person not on the same page that you on when coming to a relationship or marriage, you're really spinning top in mud. You're spinning top in mud if the person not on the same page that you are on and they're not looking for the same things that you are looking for. So it is good to ask the necessary questions.
And things in common too.
Exactly, to have the same things in common. Because
same goals,
it didn't make sense that you're in a house with someone. I always say, vibes at the end of the day. If you don't have the vibes, it can't work. Because after the children get big and gone, well, me and you sit down in the house and tell each other.
True.
But we go and watch each other and tell each other. If it is that we cannot function without the children around, or if we together because of the children, So I understand that, where that is concerned. And so for you now, if you could think about what, like for her, what attributes can you say that you adore about your wife?
I believe, we have one understanding. We discuss things. We say we're doing this thing. We will. If I can't make it happen, she will make it happen. You understand? And she's always a person there for me. Be around in anything I'm doing. Encouraging me. So I can ask her a better wife. You understand? And I say too, God had a big part to do with this.
Right.
Because just how it happened, is only God could have made this happen.
You mean with the delay in flight and all of that?
Yes, you understand? And all these things I look at, and I say, God put this together, so I want to make this work out. And it was no big maths to get married. So I say, well, yes, we will get married. It was no big maths because we're two mature people. We do things together. You know, we knock about together. Everything.
So,
yeah.
and yes, and she tell me that they love to dance.
Yes.
So tell me about this dancing thing.
Yes, we love to dance.
So they love to dance as in, so you all will like them.
Ballroom.
I could have seen all in them. You call that oh God, this thing that it does have done Buku in Tobago. Sundays.
We love to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, they seem like the Sunday school type.
As you said just now, you know, when the children get big and they're gone, you know, you have to find something to keep your relationship
going. And if you don't have nothing that we could relate to afterwards, what really we here for?
Yeah.
Why we wasting time? You know? So, I mean, me, one Sunday school I find myself in. Bottle starter pelt. The first time I probably think I went. Bottle starter pelt. Well, here now. Well, it had to be there come out that night, eh? When bottle starter pelt and I look up and I see a stag bottle coming at my head, I said, that is it for me and Sunday school. I'm not going back. That was well, I was now out in the open form. I probably didn't even go into that party yet. And I get the bad experience. And when the bad experience hit me, I say I'm not going back no Sunday school again. Sorry. And from that, I never go back no way.
I have something that say, I know.
Go ahead. It's your take the floor, sir.
I know some men might be vexed or agree with this, so you understand. But if you find a good person, a good companion, a wife, whoever, and you know she is a person who there for you, building you understand? As I say, I tell her, it's nothing for I to give her my money just to spend.
Money to spend. Money to spend. All right, go ahead. We like this topic here.
Yeah, she's take care of the home. You know, she's not a wild person to say she will run buy this, buy that. You understand? You know? And I tell anybody that. I say, once you get a good partner, you're a working man, there's no problem.
Take care of your home.
Take care of your home. You understand?
Right.
And you have some men who say, me getting a woman money, me this, me that. That once you have a good partner and she's saving and she building the home, everything. You understand? People, we start from scratch. From scratch.
But that's
you understand? And we build ourselves and we can't complain. God bless us. God always providing for us. You understand? We cannot complain.
Right. I'm glad to hear that, man. That at least, you know, that kicked off the dream interpretations of relationship very good, you know, whereby, you know, men give you a lot of money to spend. Right? I'm joking. But you know what I mean? Once so long as you have
a partner,
that's right, a level-headed wife, whereby, you know, she's able to sustain the home in the way that she should. And I mean, that is one thing, because if we really, on a serious note, if we really think about women today, and I can't even say women today, but females who have been born with that genitalia, you know, they are females. And I think I probably would have done a live on this already, but you have not taken the time out to develop yourself to actually being a woman. You know, a woman whereby you can actually sustain a home with certain attributes mentally, because it is not, it's only so far you being a female will be able to go and read between the lines. It's only so far being a female it will be able to go. Other than that, there has to be a sustainability that grows with your home. There has to be something that is able to carry it out, that has the staying power. the staying anointing then, so to speak. You know? So I understand exactly, what Michael is saying in that pathway. So, Michael, thank you very much for joining us. Right? Thank you for sharing with us how you met your wife, how things have developed over the years. And this is one time we could thank God for a delayed flight. Right? Normally we in the airport and we blew
Yes.
when our flight is delayed.
True.
Right? But now we see here a reason as to why this delay was put into place. Because had it not been for that delay, you could have missed your blessing of a husband and you could have missed your blessing of a wife.
True.
And sometimes it takes just 1 second to miss that person. Right? You know by a doubles by the double stand. Right? Your barrack could have dropped on the ground and somebody could have buy a next barrack for you. But, sorry, I have to use doubles. I love doubles. That's the only example I could have find right now. Right? But that is basically all it takes sometimes. Just 1 second to change your entire life.
True.
Just as I always say, yes, a good man can change your life. But a good woman, it is one thing that God created and put on this earth. So long as she take time out to become that woman, right? So again, we say thank you for joining us, Michael. Right, so he shared about where he met his wife, how how a delay worked in his favor. Out of bad committed good, eh? And not all the time, sometimes it ends up being that way, where out of bad committed good. But in this case, it happened that way. Whereas something that we look at as delay, it end up coming into place that God worked things out, for a greater good, right, for them, right? So this is she the one, is he the one? So we're gonna start with the dream interpretations concerning that. Now, you all may not have got dreams of this nature, or you may get them in the future, but nevertheless, these are dreams that you could pay attention to. Oh, young Machiavelli, Nigel Lewis, good night. Very interesting, yes, interesting indeed. You said you dreamt numbers. Numbers are actually codes that need to be decoded. I wonder if he's still here, or maybe he'll come back on. Numbers, he asked a question in the comments concerning it. The thing with numbers, when you dream numbers, before we go into the relationship part, I think we did this already. Numbers, you have to calculate if it is above your age. You all remember we did that? Okay, so all right. You weren't here. If the numbers are above your age, the numbers that you dreamt, it is not to be added. If it is below your age, then you have to do some additions. But if I go too deep into that, it will show me off of what we here to speak about tonight, right? So, what about if you dream tombstone? Not good. Pinky Ramnat, that is not good. Hey, I want to give him a clap there. He deserve that. He deserve that. Tombstone actually is a representation of death. If it is you didn't see the name on the tombstone, it could actually be a significance of untimely death, right? So you can look into that as well. Untimely death, as in death, the spirit of death is actually lurking around to take someone to the other side. So, is she the one? Is he the one? No, we're gonna take the artifacts. When you now meet somebody and the butterflies are there in your stomach, and you're wondering if this is the person that God sent. God, you start to pray, you start to go into a time of fasting, to know if this person is really for you, right? No, the thing about it is, this is a reality that many people don't like to face. Sometimes the answer could be no, and we want to turn the answer to be a yes. Right? Because of how inviting the circumstances look in the moment. No, the reality of this loving God, the reality of this God that knows here what the outcome of the circumstance in the end, He will actually show you signs, you will get codes, you will get different things that will actually show you if this person is somebody that you're supposed to be with, yes or no. Even after marriage, you could get these dreams. Even after marriage, because what God put together, let no man put asunder. But what about what man put together? Because if man put it together, God has a question mark over it, and then God is saying basically, don't call my name. I had nothing to do with this. Right? Because I showed you already what was the circumstances here, and you still proceeded to go into it. There are times that God will show you in which we would have done some of the things previously. If you dream the shoes and the shoes too tight, or if you dream the shoes wrong or dirty, things of that nature, we would have done previously. But we're gonna take a sort of different direction tonight, right? You wanna ask?
No, I was
Oh, with the shoe and stuff.
Yes.
You saw it?
You will have to do probably like a little recap.
A recap? All right, okay. All right. Well, I'll do a little recap before we go further into it. What we would have discussed, and I think this would have been in the beginning, around the time when we did the introduction with the book. As I continue to say, actually, I don't remember for some reason, it slips my mind. The Dream Interpretation book on relationships, marriages, and marital delay. It is on Amazon. You can get that. It will bless your life. But the circumstances, what we would have done for my day. One of the things that we did was the significance of the shoe or slippers or how you want to call it, footwear. For women particularly, because for men, the footwear means something different. It doesn't actually speak to the direction of marriage, but for the woman, it speaks to the direction of marriage, right? So the female, the footwear speaks to the direction of marriage. To the male, the footwear more speaks to promotion rather than marriage or relationships for that matter. Right? And the color is important as well. And I know we would have did colors as well previously, right? So the shoes is one of the things, whether the shoes dirty, the shoes too tight, the shoes on wrong side, things of that nature would actually signify that God is actually showing you about the relationship that you are in now. But you might wonder, to you, it might just be shoes. It might just be shoes that you dream, and you probably dream this pair of shoes and you're not sure what it means. But remember, we always say things in the physical doesn't mean the same thing in the dream world, in the celestial realm, right? So, whereas now, and not one tombstone, it was two, but no names. Hey. Wow. Okay, Miss, you want to answer this one too? Well, I see you on a roll tonight. If it's one person and don't take it in, right? It's our dearly beloved here, right? Well, that part is self-explanatory. You could look at it two ways. It could either be two in the household, or it could be two children. It could be the fact that it has no name, that is across the board generally, right? You need to pray that whoever that is, you need to get in some serious prayers, some serious warfare with respect to yourself, your family, those who are around you. You need to actually put yourself in a mode of prayer and fast with respect to that. So, yes, sorry to drift there. Yeah, because I know we're not on that page tonight, be on this page, right? So, for note taking sake, that is the significance with the shoes. Now, for the people that are married, or if you're married, now you know you could be married or you could be in a relationship, and you know you could be with a witch or a warlock and you don't know, right? You could be with somebody who hand heavy in other things that you don't know about. And you're lying down beside them, hugging up every night, and you know it's a whole skeleton you lie down with. A whole skeleton you lie down with. Jesus made that not be me, Jesus made. And nobody else in here or anybody that listening for that matter. It is difficult to know that the person that you are with, well, I can't say it's difficult because you don't know. And some of the things that could be fighting you in life could be the very person that you are with or without. You hear, mind you hear what I say? The very things that you are fighting in life could be the person that you are with or the person that you are without. And if you are without someone, it means that you are with someone that is taking the position of the person that you are supposed to be with. Right? So, if that is the case, how then do you treat with such a circumstance? Because, I mean, you could either be in a relationship or it could have already reached to marriage. And let us not even speak about the people who actually put their hands to iniquity to get someone. These are things that God will actually show you in dreams and visions. If it is that you are seeing the person that you are with and you seeing skeleton all around them in a dream, do you think that the skeleton could mean anything good? If you are seeing certain artifacts that you know are connected to other practices, and you are either in a relationship with that person, married to that person, whether you all are in a relationship but you all are not married yet, but you're living together, even more easier for whatever they are doing to now inhabit your life. It's dread out here. It's dread out here. You hear what I'm saying? So it is good to spend time in prayer, in courting, if you want to call it that, in dating. And it is good to also spend time in prayer while you're married for whatever you would have missed while you were just dating. Because there may have been some things that you would have overlooked, that after the marriage take place now, then you're seeing all these things uncovered that was not there while I was dating. And God knocking at your door, showing you before either the dirty shoes or the shoes crossed up, or you're seeing. I will mention this one as well because I wanna tie in everything one time so that we see how we could compact it. If you are also dreaming your ex, if you're seeing somebody who you was with, I heard 2 years ago, so long as that person is from a previous relationship, so long as that person, you have ended that relationship and you are still seeing them coming in your sleep, or even worse, if that person died. If you have a spouse that died and you are seeing that person in your sleep, it is not good.
So even the ex and haven't done it.
No. If it is that you are actually dreaming an ex, it actually means that you are being forced to stay single for the rest of your life. That's the God honest truth. Yeah. If you are seeing an ex, and I want you all to take note of that. If you are seeing an ex, somebody who you was with from since Nebuchadnezzar was a little boy and the rock of Gibraltar was a little pebble, and you're seeing this person right through, or even if they come once, don't even take it for joke. Get in a mode of prayer. If you are someone that is married already and is seeing them still, pray heavily concerning it. If you are seeing an ex and you are unmarried, pray even more heavily concerning it, because it is actually the attack to make sure that you don't have a stable relationship moving forward in life. And it is actually God giving you the download, so to speak, the connection to keep showing you backwardness where relationship is concerned, and not really the visionary of forward movement when coming to marriage or relationship. So, make sense? Makes sense. Well, that's what we're here to do. We're here to put sense to the things that, probably would have just been swimming in the air. And we wondering, right? So the thing with those that are, if you're seeing your ex, get in prayer, get in fasting, that's something not to play with. Because if you are seeing them already, it means that it has already been activated in the realm of the spirit, and it is something that has to be torn down. So it already is trying to build a wall against you when marriage or relationship is concerned. And if it is that you are married, pray heavily concerning it, because it also will come for the stability of your marriage. It will also come for the stability of your marriage. And you will see little petty things popping up, and you're like, why are we fighting for these stupid little things? And you're not sure what's going on. Check them dream lineage. And if it is you cannot remember, ask God to bring it back to your remembrance when you get up. And if it is you realize that you are dreaming and you're not remembering, cut off eating at a certain time. Because the heavier you are when you're looking to go to sleep, it now brings your spirit and a soul to a heavy place. And I've recognized that, because even with me, I started putting myself in a mode of testing to see what is the result I get when I eat too much before I go in my bed, and what is the result when I cut off eating at a certain time, in order to be able to pull the messages from the dream world into the physical, so that I could actually come out with the message. Because sometimes you can miss peace, and it's a valuable piece you miss. Right? So if it is that you realize you're not remembering and you're praying, check your eating. Check your eating and see. So well, next time, I guess. Young Machiavelli, next time, elaborate for me what you're speaking about. If it's about the numbers, we spoke about it previously. You probably would have missed that. So check out your ex. If you're seeing your ex, deal with it severely. Deal with it like somebody dead. Because it's actually death that they're looking to put to your marital life. Right? Where that is concerned. It has some men who they declare, after me, she mustn't have nobody else. It has some woman, after me, he must suffer. It has some people so, and they don't say it, yes. They don't say it. They have some people that afterwards, that does mean, and the words does go forth. And get the thing about it. If it is that you would have done them wrong, guess what? That curse will stand. Because the word of God speaks about a curse without a cause cannot stand. So if somebody send a curse towards you, and there is no just cause for that curse to stand, it can't stand on you. But it must find somebody to go to. So I'm sorry for them who sent it. Right? But if it is that you would have done that person wrong, and that person speak that separation over you, where relationship is concerned, you mustn't have nobody, you mustn't have no settlement, everything come out that person mouth, because it will be now like if it's a cry in the ears of God. Worse yet if it's a child of God. Worse yet if it's one of God's own that you do wrong. Right? So that's why it's very careful to be mindful, of these things. If it is a relationship has to end, because let's be honest, if it is that God is showing you something and he's showing you where somebody is not it,
That's right.
it also means that he is looking for it to come to an end. And in it coming to an end, you must make sure that you didn't, how to say, you weren't the heavy offender whereby you actually ignite things. You didn't allow God to be God. Now, when God show you, it's not because God wanted to misbehave and treat the person, right? And cost them and carry you. It's not because of that. But he wants you to know, have in your heart to know, this is not it. So when I take it, do not feel exactly. Or do not that you wouldn't, right. Not to say you wouldn't feel the pain. You would feel a measure of pain. But it wouldn't be to the point that you are entirely sunken, because you know that God would have alerted you. This is not the person I have for you. Or this is not the situation I have for you. Right? So the dream is to alert you. Alert you. It's like a cushion. So that when it does happen, it's not that you didn't know. Your dreams alerted you. You saw the shoes. You saw it dirty. You didn't see it being the right fitting shoes. Right? You saw the ex coming into the dream, one, or you saw this does not mean go back to your ex. I'm just saying. Some all of us feel, oh gosh, is this play he must be missing me. You go back. Go back. Right? For whatever. It does not mean because you are dreaming them, it means to go back. If you didn't know before, now you know. It does not mean go back. Else you will be going around the mountain 3, 4, 5 times. But guess what? In the beginning, when you now go back, everything does be real nice. It does be sweet all over again. Right? And after the sweetness, go down the line a little bit now, and the sweetness start to reach the end of expiration, is then you realize you're dormant again. This is why I always tell persons, it is very risky to know you have to come out of something and be drawn back into it, because you now have to go through the entire cycle of now trying to pull yourself away from that circumstance, when in the beginning you were a good way out already. But you went back again, say, let me try this one more time. But you know that God showed you this is not the person that I have in store for you. Right? So we're facing the reality of the bad first. We're facing the reality of, if you're seeing X, if you're seeing the shoes, if you're seeing the person and you're looking for the person and you can't find the person, and things of that nature, where they're somewhere with you, but they're forcing you into things that may not be, that riles your emotions in the dreams, things like that. Right? So that will now show you, here's what they're saying it. Let's project, let's move forward from here. Now, the person who is, now if God giving you the vision, God giving you the dream, more than likely, let's be honest, if you get the vision, you get the dream, it means that you are the one God is guiding out of the circumstance. So the bad apple there, unfortunately, would be the person that you are with. Not that they are necessarily a bad person altogether, but it could be they are not your good, great person. They could be a good person for someone else. They could be a good person for someone else, a great match for someone else. But it could be a limitation for you, if that makes sense. So it could be that it's a great person for someone else, but for you, it will be someone that limits you for where God wants to take you. But that person might be able to lift someone else so greatly that is not at the level that they are at, but they will be able to pick up someone else. But because you are now at a higher level or at a greater place, you now have to play at a position where you have to now carry that person and carry what God probably wants you to do. And to carry both of them, one will suffer. One will suffer. Right? So that is bad. That is the ones that may not be. Right? And God will show you based on that. Now, if you see that person turning into all kind of animals, no, well, if the significant other that you're lying down with and you see the person turn into a snake in the bed, come now, man. I need to even explain that. Would I need to explain that? If you see the man turn into a whole snake in the bed or the woman turn into a snake in the bed, that is self-explanatory. Here what? 4 o'clock in the morning, if I get up from that dream, I pack in my things and I go on. I go on, right? Goodbye. Forget that. I will survive somehow. But things of this nature, if that person's turning into other things in the dream, actually could mean as well that that person is dabbling in things that you are innocent to. Right? Unfortunately, that I mean, if you're in marriage already, it will take God. It will really take God Himself to bring you out of such a circumstance, right? Because for someone, I feel it. You know what it is? Use our whole. Let's say, for instance, if you're a Christian and you find out your husband in some kind of craziness, and you and this man together, how much years going on, and you never know. Upon death for burial, you see some men in black come and pick you up, and you want to know what's going on. But these things have happened. You understand? You in church clapping every Sunday. You wondering why this man ain't come in church with you for hell. It's because he in hell? Come now, man. That is very difficult, and I don't wish it on my worst enemy. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. For someone to actually be an inhabitor of God and want to follow the things of God, and you're married to somebody else who in folly, right? If you're in folly, and I'm making a general announcement, if you're in folly, look for people in folly now. Oh gosh, don't come out here and hot up your head. Don't hot up your head out here. Find somebody who wicked like you, and get this, it's a kind of wicked people, eh? Let me talk about that. It have kind, wicked people. And I'm sorry for the man who has a kind, wicked wife or the woman who has a kind, wicked husband. Them two things, very sorry for it. Right? But let's go to the good. So, if it is that they get a positive, they get a all right, this is the person. So, when we think about relationship, what does it end with? Let's give a hint. Ship. So what do you think you may dream if it ends with ship? A ship. So if you dream yourself on a ship with this person, but not necessarily in life on the whole, because it could mean something totally different based on the context, right? Because remember, ship is a slow means of transportation, and we speak about transportations in life going slow. But if it is that you have asked a certain question and you see yourself with this person on a ship, that actually gives, now pray once, pray twice, pray three times. When you see it, because remember, it is something that you are seeking answers for. So you don't want to provoke your mind to dream something because you want it to be so. If that makes sense. Because we can't do that. We can think about something so much that when you go to sleep, you dream about it. And because you dream about it, you think, aha, God answer me, this is the one. You could end up in a situation. Right? So pray about it, make sure you get confirmation from God once, twice, three times. But seeing yourself on a ship with the person, based on the context of how you see them, is one way that you can use as confirmation concerning being in relationship with that person, right? That's one. Two, remember I said eating in the realm of the spirit. Well, not just in the realm of the spirit, dream world, even physically, eating is a measure of bonding. So if you're seeing yourself and you're seeing that person, that man or that woman, and you all sit down and you all are having a meal, conversating over a meal in a dream. Remember, I'm saying this is in a dream. This is God showing you a dream. You are actually conversating, eating, having a meal. Then this is also a positive thing where yourself and the person is concerned, because eating is a measure of bonding. And remember, it also, we said, I think it was last week or week before, eating is also where information is carried. This is how people could catch you in dreams when you're eating certain things. Remember, we did that? Yeah. So if you are eating in a dream with the person, that's why I said last week, eating is not all entirely bad. Eating in a dream is not all entirely bad. Good night, good night. Because it could bring you a message as well of good things to come, right? So if you are eating with the person, that is a positive direction as to where God has an intention to take you on. Eating, seeing yourself on a ship, no. The thing about seeing yourself marrying the person is one you have to be careful with, right? Now, two things I would mention with respect to seeing marriage in a dream. If you are in a relationship with the person, or you are about to go into a relationship with the person, and you dream seeing yourself married to the person, that is something you need heavy confirmation about, because you want to also make sure it's not a dream of the mind, one, and you want to also make sure that it is not bringing a message. Now, if it is that you are married already and you dream yourself marrying your spouse again, or you're dreaming your wedding day again, that is not good. It's not good. And I will just put that point to note there as well, because we didn't mention it before. It could actually mean one of you all are about to die. Right? Once the marriage is taking place again, or you see yourself in the wedding wear, what you had on for your wedding, you've seen it again, it means you have to pray concerning untimely death, or death early, or however you want to call it, death. Right? So if you see yourself as someone who is in a relationship with the person, and you see yourself in a wedding gown, you must check the context of the dream. The context would be very important in this case, so that you don't get the wrong message from it. Because as somebody as well, if you see yourself in a wedding gown, it could mean other things as well. Right? So you must check the context to actually see good, bad, or indifferent. Right? So how much is that? 3? I think it's three. Three, right. Three. So we're going to do one more. And this will be based on, yes, you're seeing the person in a dream, but the context. If no, this is one term I would say is true. You speak about butterflies in your stomach when you're around the person, the figure of speech.
Yeah.
The butterflies. Now, in the dream world, if you are somewhere with the person and butterflies, you're actually seeing butterflies around you. It's good. It's good. So, fourth one, or point to note, butterflies when coming to seeing the person or seeing yourself and the person together and you see those butterflies, it is a good sign, a good representation of God actually trying to tell you, all right, I may approve of this one for you. I may approve of this one for you. So take that into consideration, right? So we're going to do those four. So 3, Philippa Antoine. Philippa Antoine, 3. Oh, okay, but I guess she's answering the previous question. So any questions, concerns, any dream you want to share? Anything you want to share?
So I dreamt one time I was walking on the road and I don't think I was eating it, but somebody called me to barbecue chicken. I don't think I eat, but I was there and like, come with Ronald, and I was shuffling in the name and they gave me some barbecue chicken and a buffalo. Like, yeah. I can't remember what size it was. I don't know.
Who gave you remember who the person was?
No.
You don't remember? It's not good. It's not good. Once you see meat, chicken, raw chicken, beef, once you see fish, once you see the cutting meat, they give you meat. Anything that you see with meat, it is an aspect of, and if they are giving it to you, they are actually giving that unto you. Mm-hmm. They are actually giving that on. That's why I asked if you saw the person.
I was surprised that they didn't know your name.
That they know your name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you remember when we were saying, based on the now this one I would say per context as well, per context. So if this person gave you chicken, barbecue chicken in this case, and they're giving you something to eat, you didn't know the person. Here's where you may now have to check context to see what was the emotions when you received it. Were you questionable? This is where you will have to assess. So for example, one of the things that we did previously with respect to celebration, when you're dreaming celebration, for example, if you're dreaming somebody's birthday and you're seeing the figures and you see they celebrating the person, no, it's not good. It actually, the celebration of person comes like the celebration of life. And you know what we call the celebration of life. Understood? So, take for instance, there was this person that I dreamt, and 2 things happened, and I recognize we ended back up on that. All how we trying to go the direction of relationships, somehow we ended up back on that. I dreamt this person, they were celebrating them, big celebration taking place, and this person walked through like let's say like an aisle corridor thingy, and they went into an elevator, and the elevator started going up. So you see where the celebration that they walked through ushered them to where they were going to when it happened, right? So the meat, if you see anybody cutting meat, if you see raw chicken, And what is it meat on the whole is called for alarm to check the context. Because most times when you see meat is not just they're giving you chicken to eat or they're giving you something to eat. This is now where you have to look for the alarming part of eating in a dream. What if she didn't know the person? And they call she whole government name. Right. So they call their government name as well. So this is where the cause for concern would now step in, where they're giving you this thing to eat. Now, take for instance, for me, there was a dream that I had, and that person is someone that I would have had a falling out with. I had a falling out with this person physically in this world. And in my dream, probably like a couple of days after, I dreamt this person came and offered me chicken wings. You get me wrong? And this person that I had a falling out with came and offered me chicken wings. You think in the dream they came with good intentions to offer me that chicken wings? Proper barbecue thing. But when I got up and I dealt with it, it was dealt with. Right? So you understand where now the context of, because remember I said food carries information. It carries data. So whatever it is they want to happen, they put in the food and they give it to you. Because they can't catch you while you are yet up. Praying over your food important too as well, let's just say. Very important. Praying over your food and asking God for blessings is very, very important. Because some of these places that we go, we buy stuff randomly and we just start to chow down because we glutton and in praying, not knowing they dance the jig around that whole meal before you collect it. Right? And all of a sudden, you start to feel some type of way and you're not sure why. Right? It is because, exactly. This is why because when they dance the jig is the information that they put in the food to come and give you. Very important to pray and ask God for the blessing. Now, with certain people, there are people who are at a certain rank, they don't have to do it, Paul talk about it. Paul said I could eat food dedicated unto idols and it do me nothing. But for the brethren that not at that place, he could stumble. Right? So, for precautionary measures, knowing not all of us is at the same place, it is better to pray and make sure better than cocksure, according to the old people. Make sure better than cocksure. So, with that being said, any other dreams you all would like to share? Any other questions, concerns before we get to the eating part of the teaching? Anything you want to share? We dreamed last night, am I here now? You don't remember? Hey! Well, you will have to talk louder because I told these people they could hear you. What was the dream? Stopping if you're hearing this, if you're online, we're traveling, girl, we're traveling, we're going somewhere. Hear where your son now say? So we was big in the dance. But we have to be big in the dance. I go to New York for one day now. Hey! Come true. Hey, I'm telling you, we will fly plane like bus. Right? Based on what he just said here, we fly in plane like bus all here. Right? So where we so after we I don't remember, you remember nothing? Watching wrong and all that. That's all I remember. You remember the good part alone. Yeah. Hey! Okay, well, he shared his own. Anyone have another one to share? Oh, that's it. We can get to the eating part now because it's popcorn. It's popcorn are grateful for it, yeah? But
Nah, that popcorn like get cold or something.
it's cold and it get hard.
Yeah.
People I didn't pop the popcorn this time, eh? Was Michael King wife?
Yes, I pop the popcorn, but the popcorn like this old popcorn which was open.
Oh God. All right, so you all, we are grateful. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We are about to have our own little session inside of here. Right? So, Machiavelli, if you are on still, sir, I'm not sure if you are online. If you are, you could go back and look at what I said earlier on concerning the numbers. That will kind of help you, or reach out to me. We'll talk about it because we didn't do numbers tonight and I didn't want to go too far past what we came online to discuss. So thank you all so much for joining us. It has been a pleasure. We did the teaching part and now we're going and eat. So to God be the glory, great things he has done. And for all those who are around, who was listening, and all of us hearing as well, good night to you all as well, the eavesdroppers, right? So everyone, it was nice. Thank you all for joining us. See you all next time. We didn't have any morning devotions this week, but we're going to start back next week. God's spare life, all the best. May God be true and every other man a liar in your life. Every witchcraft and iniquity that they set for there, I pray God that it be broken down and loose, and the child have no part in your life in Jesus' name. That you must walk forth and do everything God called you to do. Right? Wickedness mustn't prosper over your life, and you shall see your way as you have stayed and you have heard my voice. May God open doors for you in Jesus' name. Right? So you all have a good night. It was nice. All the best to you all.